A new month looms on the horizon, which means lots of new movies coming to Netflix. Netflix has scheduled a list of original movies that are set to appear on the streaming platform in October 2022, from horror to prestige dramas. Here are our top 7 picks of the best and most anticipated new Netflix originals that are due to hit the service in the US and globally in many instances in October 2022. We recommend you add these Netflix originals to your watch list. These are arguably the best. Number 1. Mr. Harrigan's Phone. The formulaic horror usually begins by attempting to lure you into a false sense of security, and Mr. Harrigan's Phone is no different. The horror film, based on Stephen King's story, portrays the initially charming, sweet tale of Craig, a young boy who befriends John Harrigan, a lonely, elderly man living in solitude with a vast fortune. Helping him to adjust to 21st century tech, Craig gives John a phone. However, when John dies, that's when the true horror springs into action, as Craig finds himself communicating with John from 6 feet under. Mr. Harrigan's Phone is available on Netflix beginning October 5th.
A person shouldn't call out unless they want an answer.
Number 2. Luckiest Girl Alive. Mila Kunis takes center stage in this mystery thriller, based on Jessica Knoll's New York Times best-selling novel of the same name. The foundations have been laid for Luckiest Girl in the World to translate just as spectacularly on screen as it did on paper. The mystery flick presents the story of Ani Fanelli, a successful writer and New York Times editor whose life has the perfect mix of emotional and financial stability, not to mention her razor-sharp tongue and an extremely wealthy fiancé. However, all is not as it seems when her turbulent, deeply concealed past comes back to haunt her existence and threatens to derail her idyllic life. Luckiest Girl Alive is streaming on Netflix beginning October 7th.
Turn my key, and I will tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Number 3. The Curse of Bridge Hollow. The Curse of Bridge Hollow is firmly in keeping with October's spooky theme and certainly promises to be a comedic horror that, judging by the synopsis and Marlon Wayans' involvement, doesn't take itself too seriously. When a young family moves out of town and into suburbia, the couple's teenage daughter inadvertently activates an ancient curse, leading to the town's Halloween decorations coming to life. With a mixture of pumpkins, haunted mannequins, and hang-up plastic skeletons roaming free and ravaging the quiet town, Sydney and her father must battle against the decorations wreaking havoc to save the town. The Curse of Bridge Hollow begins streaming on Netflix on October 14th. Number 4. The Good Nurse. The Good Nurse is poised to be a complex film and one of the standout Netflix original arrivals in October, with Academy Award nominee Eddie Redmayne and Academy Award winner Jessica Chastain starring alongside one another in this crime thriller. Directed by the writer behind the phenomenal Danish thriller The Hunt, Tobias Lindholm, The Good Nurse tells the story of Amy Luffren, who is left in utter disbelief when one of her friends and colleagues, Charlie Cullen, is found to be responsible for the murders of multiple patients over a 16-year span. The Good Nurse will be streaming on Netflix beginning October 16th.
And it's all gonna continue.
I hope you guys can hear me.
He's walking right now.
Number 5. The School for Good and Evil. Starring some stellar A-list names, Charlize Theron, Lawrence Fishburne, Kerry Washington, and Cate Blanchett, the teen fantasy movie The School for Good and Evil tells the mystical tale of an enchanted school whose students are aspiring heroes and villains in a Harry Potter, Hogwarts-esque setup. The School for Good and Evil is on Netflix beginning October 21st.
None of us will survive.
I'm your best friend. Evil is controlling you.
Number 6. Wendell and Wild. Directed by Henry Selick and written by Selick and horror fantasy sovereign Jordan Peele, this stop-motion animation will certainly get those Halloween pulses racing in the build-up to the most fearsome day of the year. Wendell and Wild are two demonic brothers who face off against their nemesis and acquire the help of Kat, a 13-year-old who aids them on their quest to reach the land of the living. Wendell and Wild will be on Netflix beginning October 21st. Number 7. All Quiet on the Western Front. Like Halloween, we'll undoubtedly be wishing away the entirety of October to get to the good bit. A remake of the 1930 classic and the film adaptation of Eric Maria Remarque's novel of the same name, This movie tells the story of a 17-year-old's World War I journey. From the initial excitement of being hoisted into war, to the dawning realization of its horrors, and the very real danger it poses to his and his comrades' lives, it has Paul Bäumer in for a very rude awakening. All Quiet on the Western Front offers a devastating insight into what it was like in the German trenches, and truly humanizes the people that have largely been seen as the enemy ever since. Edward Berger's film won't just be a moving illustration of German soldiers' lives during World War I, but also invariably has the makings of one of the best movies from an Axis perspective. All Quiet on the Western Front will be on Netflix starting October 28th.
Zusammen, ja, Paul? Wir bleiben zusammen.
If you like a video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
You'll not just be the fairest of them all.